Good evening, glad that you are watching your channel of choice on TV47 News tonight. Tonight, Meru Killer Bus was modified to a mobile luxury mini club. Details emerge. Also tonight, President William Ruto and Samia Suluhu commit to remove trade barriers between Kenya and Tanzania.
Zile barriers ambazo zimebakia chache, Mheshimiwa Rais na mimi tumekubaliana ya kwamba mawaziri wakutane, wale officials wengine wakutane, tuyakamilishe, tuyaondoe, ndio hata ile biashara iweze kukua zaidi.
And results of national exams to be released in January next year. Outgoing Education CS Professor George Magoha announces.
And all the results will have been released by 23rd of January so that we can start a new year normally.
This as he lauds the government for retaining CBC. And Wairimu is our sign language interpreter. Good evening, I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Welcome to the broadcast. To our top story tonight, and a 30 seconds viral video of the Meru Killer Bus has emerged, revealing that the bus, dubbed Party on Wheels, was a party rental vehicle. The video that was recorded moments before the accident shows that the bus, designed for an adventurous trip, included unique features such as a mini bar, a DJ deck, screen monitors, a sound system, comfortable seats, and ample dancing spaces for its occupants. Survivors of the accident say the group was headed to Samburu for a night in the jungle before the fatal accident.
This 30 seconds video recorded inside the Meru Killer Bus shows the group having a good time moments before the fatal accident. On the far left is a mini bar, a DJ deck, and a sound system. On the right, the video shows the bus has comfortable seats and ample dancing spaces for the passengers. The group that left Nairobi at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning is said to have made several stopovers traversing the scenic Buuri area around Mount Kenya region before getting back on the road for Samburu for a night in the jungle. That, however, did not happen as the driver of the bus lost control, hitting a 14-seater matatu before ramming into a trailer that was also headed in the same direction. The bus driver and 3 other passengers from the bus died on the spot alongside 7 individuals from the matatu. The death toll rose to 12 people as 2 more people succumbed to their injuries whilst undergoing treatment. At the accident scene, beer cans and liquor bottles littered the road. A DJ mic flag was also found in the recovered items. The vehicles were towed to Subuiga Police Station Yard as further investigations into the cause of the accident continues. Zainab Mohammed, T47.
Moving on, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha is elated after President William Ruto promised not to abolish the competency-based curriculum. Meanwhile, results for the national examinations slated for end of the year will be released in January, and this will enable the country to revert back to the normal school calendar. Our senior education affairs reporter Sharon Baranga has the details.
If there is an issue that has been causing Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha to have sleepless nights, was the possibility of the new government abolishing the competency-based curriculum. A project that has been close to his heart and one that he supervised its implementation. For 6 years, CBC has been in use in primary schools, and CS Magoha has been its strong advocate, saying the new curriculum provides an opportunity for talented learners to excel in life.
And perhaps as you teach the children in the competency-based curriculum, where I want to thank His Excellency the President, William Samoei Arap Ruto, for having decided that CBC is not going anywhere. and that it is going to be revised and looked into, that is an intellectual talking. Because you know as well as I do that there is nothing perfect. Somebody tells you that something is perfect, that person is a fool. If you have a friend who agrees with you all the time, that person is a fool. Because a normal person should be telling you what you don't want to hear.
Magoha was speaking at a Kenya National Union of Teachers event in Kirinyaga County. On national examinations, the CS said that results for the exams slated for end of the year will be released in January, and this will enable the country to revert to the normal school calendar.
If everything goes on as planned, the exams will start on 28th of November, and all the results will have been released by 23rd of January, so that we can start a new year normally.
Education stakeholders say they have faith in the task force that has been appointed by President Ruto to look into the challenges that have bedeviled the CBC.
This is a very important task force, and with the support of everybody, every stakeholder, I'm sure the President shall not go wrong with the task force.
NAT leaders also pointed out issues affecting the welfare of teachers, which they want the government to address, such as salary increment for teachers and employment of over 50,000 teachers as promised in the manifesto of the Kenya Kwanza government.
The employment of the 58,000 teachers, as was proposed in the Education Charter, we pray that the strength of His Excellency, the President of this country, come to fold, and we have these teachers employed so that we ease the understaffing of teachers in this republic. Teachers can only work well if they are motivated and well paid. This has been proven through various research findings that Kenya National Union of Teachers have already made a presentation of a proposal of 60% salary increment for our teachers within 2021-2025 CBA before Teacher Service Commission. This will be an integral ingredient that will push the spirit of teachers to perform optimally, other than enabling them to manage the high inflation affecting the whole world.
The government is already spending 25.9%. And I heard the President promising us when we met him at one time that he is indeed going to employ the teachers that he promised to employ, which means our government is going to spend more than 30% of the national budget on education, isn't it? So when you say solidarity and you say pesa, you are selling yourself cheap. That is not to say that you should not negotiate for better terms, which is your right.
Members of the National Assembly present at the teachers' meeting promised to implement laws that will ensure the teachers' welfare is improved, as well as the education standards in the country. Sharon Baranga, TV 47.
Now, President William Ruto and President Samia Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania have agreed on a working formula that will eradicate trade barriers between Kenya and Tanzania. Ruto has pledged to increase the trade volume with Tanzania so as to foster strong bilateral ties between the two neighboring countries. Mike Kagwongo reports.
In his first visit to neighboring Tanzania since he was sworn in as the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, President William Ruto stated that the two nations will be working to double trade from the current 45 billion shillings to 90 billion shillings, so as to ensure that the trade and investors benefit from the relations.
And I think it's now clear to all of us that increase in trade benefits everybody. And I have come here to underwrite that increase in trade is where we want to go. We want to increase our trade between our two countries from now 45, 50 billion Kenya shillings, a total of 90 billion Kenya shillings. We want to double that trade, and it is doable.
Kenya's trade with Tanzania has grown steadily in the past years in the wake of improved relations between the two countries, after years of feuds that at one point resulted in retaliatory measures such as trade bans.
When you and President Kenyatta were working on these barriers that were barriers to trade, many people thought it would benefit Kenya. But today, it has benefited Tanzania more than Kenya. And we are very happy as the people of Kenya.
President William Ruto said a borderless East Africa Community EAC will allow free movement of goods and services among member countries, thus unlocking numerous business opportunities for the people. The two heads of state said the concerned ministers would meet to ensure the outstanding trade barriers between the two countries are resolved before the end of the year.
Lakini kwa ujumla niseme kazi iliyoanza baina yetu Kenya na Tanzania kuondosha vikwazo imekuza sana biashara. Mwenzangu Rais Ruto alikuwa anatoa takwimu na akasema Tanzania mmefaidika mara 2 zaidi ya mlivyokuwa mkifaidika.
Barriers ambazo zimebakia chache, Mheshimiwa Rais na mimi tumekubaliana ya kwamba mawaziri wakutane, wale officials wengine wakutane, tuyakamilishe, tuyaondoe, ndio hata ile biashara iweze kukua zaidi.
The meeting is scheduled to be as soon as Trade and Industrialization Cabinet Secretary nominee Moses Kuria is vetted and approved by the National Assembly. President Ruto expressed satisfaction that 56 trade barriers between Kenya and Tanzania have so far been resolved, saying he was confident that the remaining 14 outstanding will be soon resolved.
Tumeshakubaliana pia mambo ya kupigana na ugaidi, human trafficking, and the rest of the transboundary crimes that are making our region uncompetitive and giving us a bad name. So we have agreed that we will enhance the cooperation that exists between our security agencies so that we can share information, share strategy, and be able to deal with these challenges to secure our region, to secure our two countries.
Lakini kuna mradi wa bomba la kusafirisha mafuta, kusafirisha gesi asilia kutoka Dar es Salaam hadi Mombasa, mradi ambao tulisha saini makubaliano pamoja na Rais Uhuru, lakini Rais Ruto ameubeba kwa ndio mradi wake wa kwanza atakaoanza na Tanzania.
Of the 6 nations that make up the EAC, Kenya is the largest investor in Tanzania and the 5th largest on the continent. Mike Kagwongo, TV 47.
Elsewhere, the process to replace top sleuth Director of Criminal Investigations, George Kinoti, who resigned last month from the position, has commenced in earnest, with the National Police Service Commission shortlisting 10 candidates for interviews slated from Tuesday at the Kenya School of Government. Moige William tells us more.
I have also received the resignation of the Director General of CID, Mr. Kinoti.
After the resignation, the National Police Service Commission is in a bid to replace former DCI boss George Kinoti with a list of candidates narrowed to 10 from 253 individuals who submitted their applications for the job. In a statement, National Police Service Commission noted that a notice had been sent to all the 10 candidates to present themselves at the Kenya School of Government, Lower Kabete in Nairobi for interviews starting Tuesday. The interviews are slated to kick off at 8:45 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. with each candidate expected to be interviewed for at least 45 minutes. Those shortlisted include Mohamed Amin, Bernard Barasa, Eliud Lagat, Monga Nyale, and Esther Saronei, David Birech, Jonyo Wiso, Nicholas Kamwende, Paul Nambuki, and Dr. Wanderi Mwangi. Currently, Mr. Mohamed Amin is a Senior Assistant Inspector General of the National Police Service, serving as the Director of Internal Affairs Unit, concerned with ensuring that the National Police Service officers handle themselves in a professional manner when dispensing their duties. Bernard Barasa is currently serving in the Coast Region as the Coast Regional Criminal Investigations Officer. He previously served in an elite serious crime unit. Edul Lagat, on the other hand, is the current Director of Reforms at DCI headquarters. He is an explosive and post-blast expert who headed the Forensic Bomb Disposal Unit prior to his current posting. He is also an alma mater of the National Defense College of Kenya. Gideon Nyale Munga is the current Principal Assistant to the Inspector General at the National Police Headquarters in Nairobi. He formerly headed DCI's Anti-Terrorism Police Unit. Esther Chepkut, who is the only female candidate shortlisted for the Kiambu Road-based office, is currently based in Bomet as the County Police Commander. David Kipkosgei Birech is the man in charge of police reforms at the National Police Service. For Michael Wiso, he formerly headed the legal service at the Directorate of Criminal Investigation Headquarters. Mr. Wiso is a former head of legal service at DCI Headquarters and is now eyeing the director position. Also shortlisted is Nicholas Ireri, former Nairobi Regional DCI Chief, and is currently serving as the Director of Planning at DCI Headquarters. Prior to his current role in the DCI, he was the Director of Forensic Services and has had a stint at the Anti-Narcotics and Banking Fraud Units. Paul Jimain Ndambuki has previously served at the Interpol Headquarters in Lyon, France, and at the DCI Academy. Last but not least is Simon Mwangi Wanderi, currently serving as the head of DCI Railways Command. Before this, he was a long-serving Director of Personnel at DCI Headquarters, a top crime buster in the Flying Squad. The position fell vacant after former DCI Director George Kinoti resigned from the position in a letter to President William Ruto and was transferred back to the Public Service Commission. After the interviews, 3 names will be submitted to President Ruto, who will then announce his choice in a period of 7 days after receiving the list of shortlisted candidates. Noteworthy individuals who made applications but did not make the cut include police spokesperson Bruno Shioso, head of investigations at DCI John Gashomo, as well as head of the Banking Fraud Investigation Unit, Kari Nyawinda. Moige William, TV47, Nairobi.
Moving on, a meeting convened to sort out chaos between muguka traders in Siakago town of Mbeere North Sub-County of Embu County ended prematurely after residents declined to be addressed by leaders. 2 delegations from Embu and Meru counties led by Deputy Governors Kinywa Mugo and Isaac Mutuma could not convince the angry residents who demanded the return of 5 motorcycles stolen by people masquerading as muguka traders. Chichi Josephine with the details of that story.
The chaos that could degenerate to tribal started when residents of Nthawa Ward accused muguka traders from Meru of harboring criminals who stole motorbikes and refused to pay for muguka while acting as brokers, among other crimes. The residents, however, demanded for transfer of all officers attached to the crimes unit in Siakago police station, who they accused of siding with criminals, demands that Embu County Commissioner Stephen Kihara assured them they would be granted according to the law.
Kuanzia leo, kesho utaona the changes zile tumeimplement kuanzia leo. Na kesho nikikuja hapa mniulize hiyo swali. Mmekubaliana mimi? So already we have come up with a structure who will be with us here.
Meru Deputy Governor Isaac Mutuma, who addressed the media after the botched meeting, called for a truce, adding that the issue was somehow political.
Tumeenda pale vijana wa area hiyo wamekataa viongozi waongee kuonyesha ya kwamba kuna siasa mbaya ambayo imeendeleshwa pale kwa hiyo area. Kwa hivyo tunaomba viongozi, tukianza na the Embu County Governor, Her Excellency Mheshimiwa Cecily Badire, matamshi yako ambayo ulitamuka jana, tunaomba kama viongozi wa Meru urudi tena kwa watu wako uwarejeshe, kwa sababu wanakungoja useme neno ambalo litarejesha amani katika hiyo eneo.
Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire, who visited the area on Saturday, called for registration of all muguka traders and border operators to make it easier for identification by county government and security personnel.
Na nikiwasikiza, tuko na criminal gang ambayo imetake over mambo ya biashara na mambo ya watu wadhawa. Kama biashara yetu ya miraa itaendelea, we want to register kila mtu ambaye anakuja hapa kununua miraa yetu, awe anajulikana.
Chichi Josephine, TV 47.
Now, Kenyans today marked Utamaduni Day, a day meant to celebrate the country's rich cultural history. In Turkana County, for instance, refugees observed the day by showcasing their rich cultural and natural heritage. And as Collins Lusweti now reports, it was a dull Utamaduni Day in Nairobi with no festival to mark the day.
It was dance and songs at the Kakuma refugee camp as refugee community showcased their rich heritage through pomp, color, and traditional attire. The celebrations, organized by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in partnership with the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organizational, meant to enable the local community and the refugee community to connect in meaningful ways and develop intercultural understanding. Some of the refugees who have been living in the camp for the last 3 decades expressed gratitude, saying the day provided an ideal opportunity to learn about and share in each other's cultural celebrations and traditions and feel part of an inclusive and diverse community.
Kakuma refugee iko na different community. Kuna wa Congo, wa Burundi, wa Rwanda, Southern Sudan, kuna Somali, kuna Ethiopia. Wengi wamezaliwa hapa, wengine walikuja kama ni wadogo. Sasa culture yao ilipotea. Tumefufua culture na inaleta peace. Tumeona peace imechupuka. Watu saizi wanaishi pamoja, wanacheza pamoja, wanakula pamoja. Yani imeleta hiyo umoja kwa kambi.
In Nairobi County, the day remained largely dull with no festivals to mark. A number of residents remained unaware of the day being observed, with some referring it as Moi Day, a day that was marked for more than 10 years to honor former President Daniel Moi.
Inanikumbusha utawala wa mzee Moi, because some of us kwa majina kwanza naitwa Mr. Day. Naichukulia hii siku kwa utabidi sana, sababu mimi ni beneficiary wa Daniel Moi.
Siku ya leo mimi sioni iko kwa maana yote. Utamaduni inafaa kuwa ya tribe fulani ama culture yenu pale, lakini sasa tuna ile culture pamoja kama Wakenya.
Kenya country itself, it doesn't recognize the culture of the people, it doesn't recognize our tradition, our history and anything. So we cannot celebrate a day of something that the country or the government itself does not recognize, does not even cut a hand for anything about it.
Collins Lusweti, TV 47, Nairobi.
Now, different special way, the day was renamed Utamaduni from Moi Day, which marks our cultural heritage and beliefs amongst our different communities. In Meru County, the Meru community had its own way of conducting their celebrations. This story was produced by Andrew Juma.
Songs, dances and all kinds of traditional celebrations were the order of the day here in Meru during the Utamaduni Day celebrations. According to Joshua Murithi, the founder of Mpuri Songs and Dance Band, the Ameru community has plenty of talents and heritage which cannot be eroded easily by any generation, and his role is to defend and safeguard it.
Ombi langu kwa serikali ya county ni ombi langu waende waketi kitako, wafikirie jinsi ambavyo tunaweza kuwa na siku maalum ambayo imetengwa ili tuweze kufundisha watoto wetu mambo ya utamaduni. Tuifanye kama cultural day, mahali ambapo tutashinda hapa ama kwingineko, wanaweza chagua hata kama ni pale stadium.
We are further notified that some of these songs played a crucial role when it comes to young men and women who were getting married in the community.
Hizi ni pingu ama handcuffs ambazo zilikuwa zinatumiwa enzi zile za zamani. So mtu angefanya makosa, ulikuwa unaingizwa mkono mmoja hapa na mkono ya pili hapa. So mikono yote ikitokea huku, alafu sasa unafungwa. So hizi zilikuwa zinatumika kama handcuffs.
Utamaduni wa kitambo ama wa hapo awali uko na utamu sana, sababu mambo mengi ambayo siku hizi tunafanya na yenye ilikuwa inafanywa kitambo ya saizi ni mambo ambayo wakati mwingine haina adabu mbele ya wazazi, mbele ya watu wazima. Lakini hapo awali kuna mambo ambayo yalikuwa, mambo yote ni walikuwa wanatenda yalikuwa mambo mazuri.
Mzee Mrithi says during the initiation ceremony, young boys were gathered together and taught moral values on how to conduct themselves immediately they got married.
Kwa mfano, haungepata msichana wa samani ambaye alikuwa anaonana kimwili na kijana ama mwanaume mpaka siku yake ya kuolewa ifike. Lakini saa hii na msichana huyu alikuwa anaishi kwa nyumba yake peke yake. Lakini leo tunakaa na wao kwa nyumba moja. Kuna CCTV cameras. Tuko na walinzi pale kwenye lango kuu. Lakini hao wasichana ukiwaweka 10 utakuja kugundua ubikira wao waliharibu kitambo.
This group of elders was, however, disappointed on how some communities were allowing their culture to fade out easily, saying it will soon be forgotten by the current and upcoming generation.
Ni uzini kuona sasa nyimbo tunaelekea, tunakwenda, tunaacha hii dunia, tunaaga na nyimbo hazina wenyewe. Ninachohimiza ni kwamba serikali za majimbo, county government, watengeneze makamati, waunde makamati ya mambo ya utamaduni wetu, na kutoka hapo sasa tutakuwa tuna vijana na wale wengine kwa vikundi kwa mabaraza tunafunza wengine wakiwa ni watoto 10 labda 3 watakuwa wameshika.
The community is, however, asking the government to put up different mechanisms to ensure that all cultural activities are well preserved in the counties as well as national museums.
Zamani kama ulikuwa umetoroka tu kwa siku fulani unaenda, hakuna mtu amekupeleka, jamii haja kukupeleka, kilani haja kukupeleka nyumbani kwenu, unatakiwa tu kwa siku chache tu alafu utarudi nyumbani kwenu. Hapo hakukuwa na shinda. Lakini kuna yule naye anakuwa katili, anakuwa mtu mbaya, tena mlogi, yani huyo ndio sasa the clan inampeleka nyumbani kwa baba yao.
Disability is not only limited to physical disorder, but also mental issue. From depression.
I was under depression for like 2 years.
Bipolar.
Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder.
And even suicidal thoughts.
When I was just about to hang myself, a certain voice just talked to me, and I believe that was God. I tried suicide more than 6 times.
Beyond the Limit has gone beyond its limit to find answers so as to help everyone go through life with ease. Join Muthoni Maina every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Starting this September at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, The Realtor brings it all to perspective. We identify a property, discuss and demonstrate the journey towards ownership.
Professionals who have integrity, and from their catalog you can easily read that these are professionals who are able to deliver.
Everywhere you go, you have to up your games, you have to go with the trends.
Not forgetting the margins as well as the risks that come along.
The runaway prices of the land. We are saying that it's something that we can never go without mentioning. Any developer will not go without mentioning price of land.
Don't miss out. Do you want the latest news on farming? We've got the WikiLeaks for you. Get it? No? Well, okay. Every week, we give you insights on different farms, from crop farming to animal keeping.
They're very hardy insects, yeah? The larvae is a very hardy insect.
We look forward to having an optimum production in maybe about 5 years. Yes. Yeah.
So we plant every week and we harvest every week.
Join Violet Njoki every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as we skooma the wiki.
It's not all the time you have to read your farm. Sometimes it's of benefits.
Starting this September at 8:30 p.m.
Hi and welcome to The Grind. My name is Violet Njoki.
We continue to provide the platform that aims to inform and educate on business-related matter. We are here to ask all the relevant questions on your behalf.
When it comes to a catering business, do you need licenses?
Yeah, a lot of it.
And inform you what is happening in the business arena. Be sure to stay tuned.
All week, you look forward to the weekend. And we are here to help you make the most of it.
Untold Stories.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with Kenya's fastest growing television. Let's get to more news. And security officers in West Pokot County are on the spot over the alleged harassment of innocent residents in the county during the ongoing operation in the troubled Kerio Valley region. This comes after 11 people, including 8 police officers, a local chief and 2 civilians, were killed 2 weeks ago in Turkana East, which prompted the government to start a security operation in the region.
West Pokot County leaders have raised concern over what they termed as police officers taking advantage of the ongoing security operations in the region to harass residents in the area. According to area residents, the police operation has turned out to be a business for police officers who are engaging in bribery and extortion at roadblocks along the Kitale-Kapinguria-Lodwar highway.
Kwa sababu hayo yalifanyika sasa na tumekubali labda wale watafutwe na waletwe kwenye sheria, inakuwa kwamba sasa askari wanakuja West Pokot hapa katika hali ya kusema kwamba tunataka kuseba zile mabarabara ambayo wao wanaweza kutorokea. Wanakuja sasa kufanya maneno ya ambayo haikubaliki kwa watu wa West Pokot. Pale Marich ambaye ni Sigor constituency Pokot Central sub county ambaye iko West Pokot County. Askari wameenda pale badala ya kutafuta wahalifu. Sasa kazi yao sasa ni kufanya extortion.
The concern from the leaders comes just a day after locals were arrested by police on an entertainment joint in Makutano, a move that attracted commotion between the residents and security officers.
Ni dhahiri kwamba uhusiano ya polisi na raia karibu kidogo karibu inaenda laini ambayo si mzuri, na tumeongea na bwana OCS kwa urefu na tukakubaliana kwamba lazima hiyo uhusiano irudishwe haraka.
Residents are now calling on the security agencies to cooperate with the residents in order to promote peace and conducive living and working environment.
Nataka niulize saizi county commissioner aite machiefs yake na madio na madisi ndio wapange. Najua hapa tujakuwa na mkutano kuongea na watu. Cases ambayo tunaambiwa sasa mingi ni ile sisi wenyewe viongozi tukamaliza ground.
Elsewhere, the government and the family of the late former Ainabkoi Member of Parliament William Chepkut have announced the 18th of this month as the date the burial ceremony for the former lawmaker will take place. During a press briefing through his brother Enoch Chepkut, the burial preparations are underway and more updates on the same will be issued.
State wameconfirm kuwa mazishi ya mheshimiwa itafanyika tarehe 18 pale shule Kapsunde kisha hapa nyumbani. Tunahuzunika sana lakini tunashukuru.
The community that we are together in the difficult times, we will plan together, we put us in the plans, we will walk the journey together so that we can give the late Mheshimiwa Chepkut a befitting send-off.
So I can say as a parliament, as much as I'm coming in at the moment, we will miss a serious person. We will miss a person who played a big role in legislation and legislating matters that address the social life of our people. Otherwise, I want to say, pole sana, we are here together on behalf of Keses and the people of Mainapkoi. We say pole sana. We are going to mourn him dearly, and we know one day a story will be written about Chepkut.
He was so hilarious that when he stood up in the chamber, all of us would start laughing because of the way he addressed Mr. Speaker, sir. That alone would make everybody start laughing before Chepkut starts speaking. So he was a man of the people. He mixed well with the rest of the colleagues. He talked to everybody. He had his own style of leadership.
Indeed, William Chepkut, a humorous former lawmaker, may his soul rest in eternal peace. Moving on, in a record 3 weeks and counting after President William Ruto reverted port operations back to Mombasa from Mai Mahiu in Naivasha, the business community in Nakuru County says they are back to business. Our reporter Willie Dennis Njiru with that story from Naivasha.
Nakuru County boasts of over 130 kilometers transit corridor on both A104 and C63 roads, commonly traversed by long trucks, ferrying goods to different parts of the western side. This impacted significantly on business entities in areas of Mai Mahiu, Naivasha, Kikopey and Salga, whose businesses have flourished following the influx of travelers before the ICD stepped in. It is, however, a sigh of relief after the port operations were referred back to Mombasa.
Sasa imerudishwa Mombasa, sio kusema ya kwamba Naivasha hatutafaidika. Bado tutafaidika. Kwa sababu kama kuna magari nyingi ambazo zilikuwa zimewacha kusafiri, maana sasa magari yalikuwa yamepungua yakiwa Naivasha. Lakini zile magari bado zitasafiri kutoka Mombasa. Hawawezi kupita Naivasha. Aidha warale Mai Mahiu ama wakuja Naivasha. Gil kidogo. Kwa hivyo sisi watu wa Naivasha bado tuko katikati ya biashara.
Dry SGL tena imesaurika na ikarudishwa Mombasa. Sasa tumepata maybe maajira zimerudi, hata biashara zimeanza kurudi. Utapata hata saizi kwa room utakuja ukose hata room. For now niko na 52 rooms. Lakini hapo wale ungepata maybe unapata room 5, unapata room 8. Lakini kwa sasa utapata kila na wakati unapata ni buffet, watu wengi wanapita wanasema watengenezwe buffet zao.
I don't think a driver would come from Mai Mahiu and then stop over at Naivasha. And that is a minus for us. Because we need those drivers to drive maybe from Mombasa to come and stop over at Naivasha. And those are our kind of clients. So I would say it's much better, even in terms of maybe sales.
With nightclubs recording an increase of over 15% in business, guest houses doing far much better with recordings of over 80% in occupancy.
Right now we could not say much because it has not taken time, but the curve is going upwards, probably by, let me say 15%. Based on last month and now that the services have gone down there.
Kwa sisi kama wana Kikopey, tunajivunia hii mambo ya SGL kurudishwa Mombasa kwa sababu imelegeza kazi kwetu. Sasa utapata maybe 80% malumu zetu zinapata watu.
The construction of the inland container depot brought a relief to water insufficiency to the semi-arid Mai Mahiu that the business community now asks all on the line supply to be adequately serviced and alleviate suffering.
We Kenyans mara mingi hufanya mambo kujifaidi wenyewe. Na ndipo utapata maybe maji imepitia more than 40 kilometers, lakini utapata hawajanyunyizwa maji majirani, lakini hiyo maji imepita all the way from maybe Nyandarua, alafu ikakuja up to Dryport. Kwa sababu maji pale inapitia kupelekea faida maybe mtu mmoja ama watu maybe watu wachache, lakini kuna pahali ambapo hiyo maji ingepitia na kuleta msaada kwa wengi. Maybe ukiangalia jimbo la Nakuru, kama hali ya ukulima imerudi chini sana na kwa sababu hatuna maji, utapata kama maeneo maybe kuna ukame. Lakini kama hayo maji maybe ingepitia na watu wanyunyiziwa mapewa mita zao, watu wengine maybe wangefanya cabbage na wafanya irrigation, na hiyo maji ikiwa msaada kwao.
Lack of consultation between the national government, business entities and locals cited as inconsistencies with calls to foster talks.
So let the government work with the business community, let them consult, see what is working where, because at the end of the day, it's the businesses that pay the tax. And that way, we will be going up, all of us.
Ni vyema wanapokuja kama hapa Nyama Choma, ama waende Mombasa Dry Port, ama waende pahali pengine kama Nyeri ama pengine, before waanzishe kitu fulani, ni vyema kuita wananchi na machifu kwanza, wanakuwa na maelewano. Kusema kwamba nikileta hii itakuwa faida kwa wananchi, nikileta hii haitakuwa faida. Maybe serikali saa zingine hufanya mambo bila kuinquire vijirani ama maybe counties. Na ndio sababu unapata tutafanya mambo mengi tuweke pesa, hiyo pesa inakuwa ni kama dormant.
However, slick or no parking slots remain an impediment to both travelers and business communities, with quests to Nakuru County Government and Kenha to have these slots.
Parking ni shida, juu kama ni marori, haiwezi katusaidia vile juu parking labda ikipaki marori 3 inaisha. Sasa unaona tunagojea, wengine wakija wanapita. Sawa, lakini kama tungelikuwa na parking tungelipata customer wengi.
Our national government watukubali tu kutukumbuka na hii mambo ya parking.
Ile place ya magari kulala hizi lori, cause unaona sasa hivi mali zinalala ni fupi kabisa, hata ukikuja jioni utapata like inafanya accidents zikuwe mingi kwa saa hii.
Wana biashara wengi wa hapa Kikopey, niseme 98.8% sisi hutegemea hawa matrucks na magari ambazo zinapita na mizigo pia na abiria.
As the ICD remains deserted, a clarion call to the national government to maximize utilization of the infrastructure is on course to the benefit of the locals and the nation at large.
Give us the choice. Let me choose what I want to do. If I want to go ICD way, let me go ICD way. If I want to go the transit way, still let me do that. But you cannot just say you are doing this. At the end of the day, you have to think about me, the business person, the driver, the waiter who is working here, the person at the petrol station pump. It's just important that we consider all of them.
The closure of one thing gives rise to the other. With the ICD now back to the county of Mombasa, it is a new lease of life to the business fraternity along the corridors of the county of Nakuru, with many businesses reaping from this return. Reporting for TV 47 from Naivasha in the county of Nakuru, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
Thank you, Willie Dennis Njiru from Naivasha, Nakuru County, Kenya's latest capital county of Nakuru. You're watching Kenya's fastest growing television. Time for us to take a short break. Dennis Otieno is on standby with the latest from the world of sports. Stay with us.
Disability is not only limited to physical disorder, but also mental issue. From depression,
I was under depression for like 2 years.
Bipolar.
Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder.
And even suicidal thoughts.
When I was just about to hang myself, a certain voice just talked to me, and I believe that was God. I tried suicide more than 6 times.
Beyond the Limit has gone beyond its limit to find answers so as to help everyone go through life with ease. Join Muthoni Maina every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Starting this September at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, The Realtor brings it all to perspective. We identify a property, discuss and demonstrate the journey towards ownership.
Professionals who have integrity, and from their catalog you can easily read that these are professionals who are able to deliver.
Everywhere you go, you have to up your games, you have to go with the trends.
Not forgetting the margins as well as the risks that come along.
The runaway prices of the land. We are saying that it's something that we can never go without mentioning. Any developer will not go without mentioning the price of land.
Don't miss out. Do you want the latest news on farming? We've got the WikiLeaks for you. Get it? No? Well, okay. Every week, we give you insights on different farms, from crop farming to animal keeping.
They're very hardy insects, yeah? The larvae is a very hardy insect.
We look forward to having an optimum production in maybe about 5 years. Yes. Yeah.
So we plant every week and we harvest every week.
Join Violet Njoki every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as we skooma the wiki.
It's not all the time you have to read your farm. Sometimes it's of benefits.
Starting this September at 8:30 p.m.
Hi and welcome to The Grind. My name is Violet Njoki.
We continue to provide the platform that aims to inform and educate on business-related matter. We are here to ask all the relevant questions on your behalf.
When it comes to a catering business, do you need licenses?
Abdullahi, now tonight, we'll be telling you about the results registered in the National Handball League. We'll also be telling you about the prospects of the East African Secondary School Games volleyball champions, that is Chepkut High School, and what they intend to achieve in the African Secondary School Championships. Those among the many other stories that we've lined up for you in the world of sports. But to start us off is Matters Handball. And New Hope Handball team registered their first win of the season after beating Dagoretti Mixed High School Ladies Handball team Rising Stars 26-22 in the Kenya Handball Federation League at the Nyayo National Stadium. Coming off a convincing 42-17 victory against Daystar Falcons in their opening match, Rising Stars were looking to secure back-to-back wins in their debut season, while the Deaf Queens were focusing on their first win of the season after 8 matches. New Hope dominated the intense match and took a 13-9 lead in the first half before rallying to the victory, with Florence Sanyisa and Lawson Akumu tallying 16 goals, while Zerida Atieno scored 6 goals for Rising Stars in the losing effort. Meanwhile, Desert Scorpions defeated NCC 34-29. Thika registered a 26-21 win over Spartans, while Amazon humbled Quat with a 25-18 win.
This match we've won. I say our girls are developing. You can see the match was good, and we had a good competition also because the girls we played against, they're also a good team. And my girls, I've seen now they're improving, then going up. So we are happy about the win.
Today we played 2 matches. We